Students, welcome to the next class of 10 plus 1, and today we will discuss the numericals of errors. And as we have done in previous topic, all the errors, all the theoretical errors in which we have discussed personal error, instrumental error, and random error, and natural error. These all errors are theoretical errors. But today we are going to discuss some numerical type errors, which means the errors which are used in numericals. So first of all, I am going through a numerical, and after that numerical, you will easily understand what is absolute error, what is mean absolute error, what is relative error, and what is percentage error. So now we are going to discuss for the numericals of errors, and we are discussing 4 types of error today. The first is going to be absolute error. Absolute error. And the second is going to be mean absolute error. And the third error is going to be relative error. And the fourth is going to be percentage error. Now, these all 4 types of error can be summed up in one numerical. So, let's take a numerical. So, we are just taking a numerical. Let's say we are taking a numerical of a number of students and whose weight is given to us. So, let's have some students' weight here. So, let's say the weight is going to be, starting from 30 kg. 40 kg, 50 kg, 60 kg, and let's say 70 kg. So these are the 5 students' weight which is given to us, and the numerical is calculate the absolute error of each student, calculate the mean absolute error, calculate the relative error, and calculate the percentage error of all the 5 students. That's how we can solve that. First of all, we have to calculate the mean. The simple mean which we do in mathematics. It's simple mean means. Now mean is having a symbol of x bar here. So which means if we are taking mean, so 30 plus 40 plus 50 plus 60 plus 70, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students, so divided by 5. Now what is going to be your answer? So calculate that. So you will have the answer. So 40 plus 30 is 70, 70 plus 50 is 120, 120 60 is 180, and 70 250. So 250 over 5. So which means 50 kg is going to be the mean. Now how we can find out the absolute error of each student? Now for absolute errors of each student, so we can easily solve that. The formula is going to be delta xi is equal to x bar minus xi modulus, because absolute errors are always going to be positive, so that's why we have taken a modulus of that. So which means if we want to calculate for first student, so which means delta x1, so the answer is going to be x bar is the mean, and mean is going to be 50 kg here. So 50 minus, now what is the value of first student weight? That is 30. So 50 minus 30, the answer is going to be 20 kg. Now 20 kg is going to be the absolute error of first student, and similarly we can also find out the absolute errors for other students as well. So which means 50 minus 40, so the answer is going to be 10 kg. So simple. Now absolute error of third student is going to be 50 minus 50 is going to be, yes, it's going to be 0 kg. Now the fourth student is having absolute error 50 minus 60. Now 50 minus 60 is minus 10, but we have a mod or modulus of that, which means always positive value of absolute error is going to be taken. So which means the answer is always going to be 10 kg here, so which means the last student is having absolute error is, yes, 50 minus 70, that is going to be 20 kg. So we are not going to take minus 20 because of the modulus. Now these all are the absolute errors of all the students, individual absolute errors. So that's how we can solve the absolute errors. Now the second one. The second is mean absolute error. How you can find out the mean absolute error? It's very simple now. So delta x bar is going to be, now take mean of all those 5 values of absolute errors, which means 20 plus 10 plus 0 plus 10 plus 20 over 5. So the answer is going to be 30 plus 40 50, 60. So 60 over 5, so which means 12 kg. So that is going to be the mean absolute error. So that is the answer for mean absolute error. That's how you can solve the mean absolute error. So this answer is also solved now, mean absolute error. Now what is relative error? Now relative error is very simple. Relative error is mean absolute error over simple mean, or you can say true value. So which means the answer is, now for this sum the mean absolute error is 12 and the mean, simple mean is going to be 50. So which means, so 12 upon 50 is going to be the relative error. So that is our answer for relative error. And if you want to find out the percentage error, the percentage error is, we can obtain percentage error just by multiplying 100 with the relative error. So the last, not the least thing is, now percentage error. How we can find out percentage error? So just relative error multiplied by 100, and we can easily find out the percentage error of any numerical. Now we have the value of relative error, so which for that's numerical, so that is 12 upon 50, now multiplied by 100, so that is going to be 2, and the answer is going to be 24%. Now how we can solve percentage error, relative error? Now that is the answer of relative error, and that is the answer of percentage error, that is the answer of individual absolute errors, and that is the answer of mean absolute error. We can find out each and everything very easily. I think so you have the knowledge of absolute error, mean absolute error, and relative error, and similarly the percentage error. Now we are going to discuss the combination of errors. It's very easy. If you have the knowledge of that thing, you can easily solve the other numericals as well. Now we are going to take the next type of numericals. Now we are going to discuss the addition of errors in the combination of error. Now this is going to be very simple for you. Now if we have a sum where adding has to be done. Now let's say any values, so I am just taking a simple values a plus minus delta a and b plus minus delta b. Now here a and b are the true values and delta a and delta b are the absolute values. Now if you want to find out the sum of that, the answer is going to be simply a plus b, or you can say, so it's going to be a plus b plus minus and delta a plus delta b. So which means the true values are going to be added in true value and the absolute errors are going to be added in absolute errors. I am just taking a numerical for that, then you will be able to understand it better. So let's say there are two masses given. So let's take an example. Now mass m1 is going to be, let's say any values, that is 10 plus minus 0.2 kg. And similarly mass 2 is given to us, that is 20 plus 0.4 kg. Now these are the value given to us. So 0.4 kg absolute error, 0.2 is absolute error, 10 and 20 are the mean values. Now you have to calculate the total mass. Now how you can calculate the total mass? It's very simple. So if you want to have capital M, so that is going to be M1 plus M2. How we can add them? So 10 plus 20, true value in true value, and absolute errors 0.2 plus 0.4. So the answer is going to be 30 plus minus 0.6 kg, and that is your answer. If you want to add some absolute errors and true values, so just add true value in true value and add absolute error in absolute error values. We are going to be very simple for you. Now we are going for the subtraction sum. Now in subtraction, so it's very easy. If you want to have the value of a minus b for same values of a plus delta b, then a minus b is equal to plus minus, yes, delta a plus delta b. Now that is going to be very important for you. Now that thing is important, because you can subtract the true values but you can't subtract the absolute errors, because absolute errors are always going to be added. So that is the main point here. The absolute errors are always going to be added. Let's take a numerical first. So we are going to take a numerical here. So let's say some values. So we are going to have two temperatures. Now let's take initial temperature of any geyser, so that is taken as T1. So let's say any value is going to be 16 plus minus 0.4 degrees Celsius, and the final temperature so here we are taking a numerical initial temperature T1 of any geyser is 16 plus minus 0.4 degrees Celsius, and let's say the final temperature of same geyser is going to be T2. So let's say any value, so that is 24 plus minus, let's take a value, 0.5 degrees Celsius. Now how we can calculate the change in temperature? For that numerical, you have to find out the change in temperature in terms of errors. So which means we have to find out the T2 minus T1, which means final temperature minus initial temperature. Now if you want to find out T2 minus T1 according to this formula, so 24 minus 16 and similarly plus minus, now here is very interesting thing, 0.5 plus 0.4. So here 24 minus 16 is going to be 8 plus minus, so 0.5 plus 0.4 is going to be 0.9 degrees Celsius. Now that is going to be your answer. The main thing is that the absolute errors are always going to be added. They are not going to be subtracted, because absolute errors are always taken as positive. So we are not going to subtract the absolute errors. So that is very simplest thing how we can solve the subtraction of errors. Now we are moving for the multiplication and ratio of the errors. So let's take another numerical. So that is going to be the type third. Now type third is going to be for multiplication, and type 4 is going to be the ratio of any two given errors. So let's say first of all we are going for the multiplying, or you can say multiplication of errors. Now multiplication of errors. So let's say the two values are going to be, so A is going to multiply with B. Now here value of A is given as A plus minus delta A and B plus minus delta B. Now how we can solve that? If you want to multiply that, the answer is always going to, let's say the answer is z, that delta z upon z is going to be delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. That's how you can solve the in terms of relative errors. So it's going to be very easy. Let's take an example of that. So first of all, we are going to take example. So let's say some length is given to you. So length is given to you, that is going to be, let's say any value. So this is going to be 2, yes, 2 plus minus 0.2 meter, and let's say the breadth is going to be 5 plus minus 0.4 meter, and you have to find out the value of area in terms of errors. So we can easily find out that by that method. So which means the answer is going to be, so let's say delta z upon z is going to be, now what is the value of delta a here? So 0.2 divided by 2, yes, plus, and similarly, yes, 0.4 divided by 5. So that's how you can solve the easily the relative error of anything. If you have to multiply, you can just use that formula, and now just solve this, you will have your answer in hand. And if you know the value of simple z, z means is going to be a into b, and you can easily find out the value of delta z. So you can multiply z on the right hand side and find out the absolute errors, and thus just put up those values in terms as z plus minus delta z, and that is going to be your final answer. And the ratio of any errors is going to be similar kind of thing, absolutely similar. So if you have to find out the ratio between two errors, just like a over b, and if the value of a is given as a plus minus delta a and b plus minus delta b, then we are going to use the same formula here. Same formula is going to apply. So delta z upon z is going to be delta a upon a plus delta b upon b. There's no change of formula for multiplication and ratio or division, you can say. So the formula and the answer is always going to be same if a is multiplied by b or a is divided by b by the relative error method. So that's how you can solve that. And the last rule is for the head parts. If any value is given as, let's say any value, just we are going to take a numerical first, so that will be easy for you. If you want to find out the value of x, so if the value of a square b cube over c square is given to you, then how you can find out the relative errors? So relative error is going to be delta x upon x. So delta a upon a. Now the head part is going to be multiplied here. So, and similarly, yes, so 3 delta b upon b, and similarly 2 delta c upon c. Now some students made a mistake here, so they are using c square, so they are taking minus 2 because they think that the power is going to be negative. But always remember that the formula for multiply and division is going to be same, so there is always going to be a positive symbol here. So that's how you can solve that. And one more numerical is for the percentage errors, and that's very important. So we are just taking the last type of numericals, which is taken as percentage errors. So let's say we are going to test a same value. So let's say the same value x is going to be, yes, a square b cube and let's say c square and under root d. Now, if that is going to be the value and percentage errors of individual values are given to you, so let's say the value of A is given as, let's say 2%, value of B is 3%, and value of C is 4%, and value of D, let's say, is given as 6%. Now, you have to find out the percentage error in X. Percentage error in X. you have to find out. So we are going to apply the same pattern here. So this is going to be delta x upon x. Now multiplied it with 100. You know why 100? Because percentage error is going to be a relative error multiplied by 100. So now here a square, so which means 2 delta a upon a into 100 plus, because cube here, so 3 delta b upon b multiplied by 100. Now c square, so which means, yes, so delta c upon c multiplied by 100. Now here square root. Now square root means the power is going to be half. So which means that is going to be half delta d upon d multiplied by 100. Now these percentage errors are given to you. So now just putting those values here, so you will have the answer. So which means 2. Now that value is given to you 2%. So let's say 2%. Now 3, that value is given to you as 3%. So 3% here. Now here 2. Now that value is given to you 4%. Now that is half, and value of d is given to you 6%. Now that is divided by 3. So now let's say the answer is going to be 4%. 3 into 3 is going to be 9%. Now 4 into 2 is going to be 8%, and that is going to be 3%. So your final answer is going to be 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21, 21 plus 3 is going to be 24. That's your answer for percentage error in x. So that is your answer is 20%. That's how you can solve the different types of numericals in errors. And do practice more numericals. Hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you.